3 months ago, a native son returned home to take over the helm of one of the most storied football programs in the history of the state of Arkansas. And tonight in Little Rock, Class 3A Junction City, winners of the 6-3A, led by first-year head coach Stephen Jones, find themselves in War Memorial Stadium for the 8th time in program history. Standing in their way, the Rivercrest Colts, 12-2 on the year, outright champions of the 3-3A. And tonight in Little Rock, we've got all the action for you from start to finish here exclusively on the Dragon Sports Network. Good evening and welcome into tonight's broadcast, the 2017 Class 3A State Football Championship. I'm Jacob Pumphrey, and joining me to my left is a man well-versed in the history of Dragon football, has made his plenty of trips into Little Rock for the state championship games, and that's my man Wayne Pumphrey. Wayne, I tell you what, if you can't get excited about tonight, if you can't get that blood going, if you just can't, I'll tell you this, if a tear doesn't even come into your eye, you might need to check your pulse. Something's wrong with you.
Oh, you definitely need to go make your doctor visit Monday if you don't get fired up tonight about this. I mean, the only thing I can think of coming up here today is 15 years ago when we made the first trip up here. If somebody said, y'all going to make about 7 more trips to this place, I wouldn't have believed it. And it does not get old. The excitement's still there. You watch the fans come in. Talking to Coach Meeks a while ago, who will be on the sideline tonight. We're going to give him a break tonight, let him have the night off. He's fired up, he's ready, and this is a guy that's been here for all of them. And it makes it even more exciting when you got, like you said, a native son coming back, Coach Jones, a chance to finish his first season undefeated with a state title. I mean, you cannot ask for more than that.
And we are just at the 20-minute mark until kickoff. Again, Junction City and Rivercrest, the final 2 teams standing in Class 3A. And it's kind of ironic. This is a rematch from the 2016 state playoffs when Junction City traveled to Wilson, Arkansas, took on the Colts in the Cotton Patch. That was in the second round. Of course, Rivercrest came away victorious, 14-13, in a game that featured just 223 total yards of offense. But I tell you what, tonight, Wayne, we've got great conditions. There's not much of a wind. It's cold down there on the field. Perfect night for football.
Well, I mean, like you said, it's a perfect conditions tonight to play some ball. Last time these two met, they said the white perch where you could catch them real good between the 20 and 35 yard lines on the I believe north end of the Cotton Patch. It was a night made for swimming. It was nothing but water on the field. Remember, if you folks remember, we went on the air early just to show them the condition of the field, and despite all that, I mean, Rivercrest had to play in it too, just like Junction did. The Dragons coulda, woulda, shoulda won. And if you remember, Jacob, you were telling me about you had a couple of people tell you after the game from Rivercrest, and man, if these two could have played on a perfect field, it had been a really interesting game. Well, guess what? It's the state finals, and as you can see, the field is perfect.
You're definitely right about that. It doesn't get much more perfect than War Memorial Stadium on a very cold Friday night in Little Rock, Arkansas. And I tell you what, if you find yourself in the stadium with the jersey on rooting for a team in early December, you know you're playing for something big. It's kind of ironic that we sit here and talk about this. Rivercrest, they're ticketed for 4A. This is their final game in 3A. And of course, Junction City dropping back down to 2A. And so when you think of that, this is a 3A finale for both teams.
Yes, I mean, next year there will be a new 3A champion, and it's kind of crazy when you say that. But yes, whoever wins tonight be their last trip in 3A for a while, and we're going to step away for a minute, folks. They are going to do the national anthem. And that was the national anthem. We are back with you now. Jacob, we was talking about Rivercrest and Junction last time they played, and being up here at this time of the year, your football program is doing something right. And this Junction City team all season, I mean, we're looking at some numbers here we're fixing to tell folks about, has done several things right.
Yeah, I think when you're thinking about what Junction's been able to do this season, it's special, especially when you think about it being under first-year head coach Stephen Jones. To say that this offense, this team in general, bought into what he brought to the table here in the early going, I think would be a dire understatement. Listen to some of this. Hashima Taylor, 2,400 yards on the ground, 28 touchdowns, and definitely plays a key part in the offense. And then you look over on the other side, and you can't just key in on him. Shavassie Frazier, 35 total touchdowns this season, 18 rushing, 17 passing. Probably one of the best dual threat players in the state of Arkansas this season.
Oh, without a doubt, I would put him up there with anybody. Coach Jones, when he first got to Junction and got to talk to him, he told me, he said, we're going to play up tempo. We're going to spread it out. We're going to no huddle. And the first thing that crosses your mind is, okay, he's fixing to fling the ball, between here and the Hardy Martin up to the R&D Grocery. We're going to throw the ball everywhere. And that's not what he meant. And it shows right here some of the numbers we were looking at a while ago. School record, 774 plays. He said he wanted to average about 80 plays a game. Well, if you look at those numbers, he's not too far off that. It's going to end up being in the top 10 in state history for most plays in the season after tonight. Offense, total offense, school record 6,079 yards. I mean, Jacob, he has rolled through. This offense has rolled through some pretty good defenses, and they just made them look like there's nothing to it. Rush attempts, and this is the thing. Well, like I said, you thought he's going to throw the ball a bunch. No, we're going to run it. 617 rush attempts. They have 157 total pass attempts on the season. 617 rushing. That is also a school record. You would mention Taylor a while ago. It's not out of the realm of possibility. I'm not going to say he's going to do it, but he's 239 yards away from cracking the top 10 in state history for best rushing seasons. He could get into number 10 if he has a real big night tonight. We're not saying how he's got to do that or whatever. Just saying it's out there. It's possible. But Coach Jones said, this is what I want to do. They've done it. Like you said, they believe in it. They bought into it, whatever phrase you want to use. And here we are on Friday night, last game of the season, no doubt about it.
Let's talk about this Junction City playoff run. You've been around Dragon football for as long as I can remember. You've been with them, early '90s, mid '90s when the ship was righted and began its on its way to what we're at now, our 8th state championship game. But talk a little bit about what you've seen out of this playoff run. It's really one that we haven't seen before. Junction City's trailed in the fourth quarter in all 3 of their playoff games. They've blown a pair of 23-point leads, and yet Coach Jones, probably the only word that you can use to describe it, this bunch has been resilient. They just do not quit.
That's the word to use. When you look at what you call a typical Dragon team, it's going to have a dominating defense, and we're talking about the 6 previous state champions. Let's just use them. A dominating defense that's going to hold a few school defensive records. An offense that's either pure wishbone or like in the the early part of this decade, a spread offense type deal. This team comes in, they're mainly offensive, dominating team. The defense has been suspect at times, and then at times the offense seems to go off course. Like you said, they blowed a couple of 23-point leads. But if there's one thing you look at and go, hey, this is what we can hang our hat on, it don't matter how bad things are. When the fourth quarter rolls around, this bunch either comes back to life or shortly into the fourth quarter, they come back to life. And, the bottom line is this. They find a way to win. It may be the last second. You may have to take heart medicine after watching them. But they find a way to get it done, and that's how they got here. And to me, they're not a typical Dragon State finals team, not based on what they've done this year. You look at how the offense has really carried them. And They're winning games by scores of 64-38, 44-38, 31-30. But it's like the old coach always said, in the end, who has the most points wins the game. And that's how this bunch plays.
And Junction City's won 13 games in a row. Their last loss to the team that they will face tonight in the Rivercrest Colts. You talk about that playoff run. In the second round, they come down to the wire 31-30 over Harding Academy. In the quarterfinals, a little post-Turkey Day football, they took down Clinton 50-43. And then last week in the border town, they topped Osceola 44-38. And, I mean, this is a Junction City team, like you said, and I thought Jason Avery did a real good job describing it in the paper. It's been all about fast starts and strong finishes. It's been a little bit rocky in between, but it's been about the fast starts and the strong finishes. They're outscoring their opponents 28-7 in the first quarter in these 3 playoff games. And in the fourth quarter, 36-16. So it's really been about finding a way to get it done.
And go back to that fourth quarter number again. If you're going to do something, if you got to put it all together and make it happen, you want it to happen in that fourth quarter. We talk about, when do you want that momentum? When you want Big Mo to come your way? You want to see Big Mo roll your way, especially late third quarter into the fourth quarter, and it seems to do that for this team. And a lot of that goes to the head coach, keeping them focused. It also goes to seniors, I'm going to say seniors, that are stepping up and patting each other on the back going, hey, we got to get this done, let's go. And that's what you want to see out of a team, especially when they're playing the last game of the season in War Memorial. Find a way to get it done like we said a while ago, and they do it. I mean, you hang your hat on their offense. This offense of Junction City's rolls. That's what they key it on. And there's times the offense is not rolling. You're like, okay, they're in trouble. But it goes back, like you said, they find a way to get it done.
These two teams tonight, offensively, when you look at what they've been able to do on the field throughout their season, they've combined for 25 wins and over 11,000 yards of offense.
Wow!
And so for Junction City, it's safe to say that they can't play like they have the last couple of weeks. They've slid by, they've found a way to get it done. But I believe this is a Rivercrest team that. If you give them too many free shots, too many advantages, whether it's penalties or whether it's turnovers, they'll definitely be able to take advantage because they've got several guys on the offensive side of the football that helps make the Colt motor run, so to speak.
Well, going back to Junction, a lot of coaches will tell you, and I've heard a lot of them say it, hanging around Coach Carpenter, visiting with other coaches, and you'll hear them trading, I guess you could say, shop talk or whatever. And they all talk about the playoffs. There's one thing they kept saying. If you have weaknesses in the playoffs, if there's something that's been bothering you the whole season, maybe you don't have a good kicking game or maybe your penalties is a problem, whatever that weakness is, it will find you out come the playoffs. Junction City, a tendency to get penalties, and plenty of them at the most inopportune time. Turnovers, seems like every now and then they'll hit a few that's fixing to do them in. They're going to be in trouble. They won't win this game, and they find a way to get it done, like we said a while ago. Those are the things that you hope tonight doesn't come into play. One of the other things is that lapse that we talked about with the offense at times, the defense having trouble getting out of a third down situation. That's been another weakness. But despite all that, as we said, they found a way to win. Well, you hope tonight that those weaknesses can be minimized and they bring home the school's 7th state title.
Let's talk about a little bit a couple of the playmakers on the offensive side of the football for Rivercrest. When you look at DeMylan Brown, junior quarterback, saw a lot of time as a sophomore signal caller for the Colts last season, including also I believe he scored a touchdown in the last meeting between these two teams. But so far this year, 1,200 yards rushing, 17 touchdowns. That's a team high. And he also has 612 yards passing and 7 touchdowns. So when you look at what Chavassier's been able to do, not only running the ball but throwing the ball, Brown for the Colts has also had a lot of success for that Rivercrest bunch this year.
And another thing, talking about Rivercrest, if I can get it right, they got the playmakers, like you mentioned, and this is going to come down to which side's playmakers make the most plays. Junction has got to focus on the Rivercrest quarterback and shut him down because it all starts at quarterback. There's no doubt about it. But he seems to be their main focal point. They shut him down. They got a very good chance coming away with a W.
Yeah, but he won't be the only one Junction City will have to worry about shutting down. Still waiting to see if Contavious Robinson will be a go tonight, junior running back. I believe he broke his arm in week 10. If he is active tonight, he'll be in a cast, so it'll be interesting to see how much they'll be able to use him, not only offensively but defensively as well. And then super sophomore J.D. Winda. Me and you remember this young man
as a freshman.
Yes, freshman last year at the Cotton Patch. Again, he's had a phenomenal year in his sophomore season. 14 catches, 287 yards, 5 touchdowns. That's a team high. And defensively, he's had 74 tackles. And then on the offensive side of the football, he's 33 yards away from 1,000. He scored six rushing touchdowns as well. So not only do they get it done with Brown, but they can get it done with Winda as well.
Well, talking about him, if you remember, like you said, we noticed him last year as a freshman. And, in the broadcast we talked about, well, they brought him up. He's played a couple games. Now they're in the playoffs, and he seems to be coming around real good. And the big thing with him, you could watch him on the field and say, hey, this guy is a special player. He is definitely a playmaker, and he's somebody they can count on in the future. And we're noticing this, and then we look in the program, and the kid is just a freshman. So you're like, good gravy. Just think when he gets a little more seasoning, how tough he's going to be.
Junction City, the home team tonight. They'll be coming out of the tunnel in the northwest corner of War Memorial Stadium, while the Rivercrest Colts, white jerseys, red pants, and a red helmet, they'll be coming out of the southeast corner of War Memorial Stadium here. And we are just under 6 minutes until kickoff. 2017 Class 3A state championship game. Tell you what, Stan's starting to fill in quite nicely. Again, very cold outside. I believe it's about 33 degrees. So you appreciate the warmth of the press box on nights like tonight.
Oh, I'm loving it. I ain't gonna kid you. I don't know if I could deal with the cold. The coldest we've ever dealt with was Magazine in 09, and at the end of the game it was 8 degrees, and it dropped quite a bit. I think at kickoff it was like maybe 12 degrees. But that was a game Miss Lowe was, I believe, the cheerleader sponsor that year, and she said that the heater on the bus didn't work, and on their way back ice was forming on the inside of the bus. That's how cold it was leaving Magazine that night. But nonetheless, a very good crowd here for both teams, and that might not really look like it at the moment, but there's still folks coming in. And of course, War Memorial will hold, I think it's crammed full, about 56,000, and there's about, I'd say, a couple thousand here right now.
For Junction City, I mean, it's hard not to think of this as a titanic matchup. I mean, it's the Class 3A state finals. You got Junction City and Rivercrest. What's on the line for the Dragons? It'd be their 7th state title in program history. It'd be their 5th unbeaten season. Only been done 4 times in the history of the program. And for Rivercrest, they're looking for their first state title since 2010 and their 3rd overall. And so you have to think both of these bunches are going to play some inspired football tonight for their head coaches, who are both alma maters, or both played at those schools growing up.
Well, the coach for Rivercrest played on the 70 team we was talking about, 1970 team, and that was the first year in the Cotton Patch, and then this year, this is their last year in it, and he's coaching the team, of course, here tonight. So a little bit of history there for Rivercrest, and especially, the coach, when you think about it, he's bound to be going through his mind, hey, I was there when they opened the patch, I was there when they closed it, now look where we're at. And for Junction City, Coach Jones, as a player, was a member of the 03 team, the first one to go undefeated and win state, and then, of course, as a senior, he quarterbacked the Dragons to the semis, where they lost to eventual state champion Charleston. So Coach Jones knows a lot about, needless to say, knows a lot about the Dragon tradition. He's put in his own stuff kind of to, change things up, and he should, and it's paid off, and, here we are tonight.
Captains are at midfield for the coin toss for Junction City. A trio of seniors, number 40, Terrell Gibson, number 3, Jalen Davis, and number 67, Noriega Frazier. And Junction City will receive the football to start tonight's contest. And a Dragon offense that has scored at least 30 points in all of their games this season, averaging 47.9 points per contest. We'll have the football here first against a Rivercrest defense that is allowing just about 14 points per game in this playoffs.
You know what they say, something's got to give.
Something's got to give. It'll definitely give tonight. And the Rivercrest Colts, champions of the 3-3A with a 12-2 record, take the field. They'll be on the far side as visitors. Tonight's Class 3A state championship game, Junction City. Still waiting to make their arrival onto the field. And the six-time Arkansas high school football state champion Junction City Dragons, hoping to make it number 7 tonight in Little Rock, take the field. And we are just moments away from kickoff here in War Memorial Stadium. And I tell you what, while we've got just about 60 seconds until kickoff, Wayne, go ahead and give me your keys to the game for Junction City. On both sides of the football, what do the Dragons have to do to make sure number 7 comes back to the border town?
Well, we know they're going to start with offense. Let's talk about the defense. Win the battle on third down. Coach Meeks talked about that last week, emphasized it, and it was so important. Same thing here with Rivercrest. You do not want them to get going. I don't know if they really got the up-tempo offense they would need if they got behind a good bit to come back. So you want to win the battle on third down. Offensively, 3 keys: Frazier, Taylor, Davis. Need them all to have big games. If they all have big games, then Mr. Pumphrey, number 7, comes back to the border town.
Junction City return team takes the field back deep. Frazier to the far side, standing at about his 7. And Taylor toward the middle of the field at his 11-yard line. Going to be a high corner kick, fielded at about the 26-yard line. That's Fisher, and he is corralled immediately. Several Colts there on the scene. I believe they're going to mark him down forward progression at the 25-yard line, and that's where the Dragon offense will have it for the first time tonight.
And that concludes our Kevin Payne Foundation pregame show. Of course, now we're into the game real quick. Title sponsor for DSN, El Dorado Chemical, and the title sponsor for Junction City Football, Union Kennel and Farm Supply.
First play from scrimmage. Junction City breaks the huddle. They've got twins to the right. Taylor, the lone back in the backfield, brings Davis in motion. They'll fake to him. Taylor will keep it, and it'll be a minimal gain, maybe picked up a yard. So, Wayne, they had Frazier lined out wide to the far side of the field on the first play from scrimmage.
Want to throw a little something different at them. Just give them a different look, make them think about it. Give Rivercrest credit. They didn't really worry about, well, okay, they're doing something different. Stick to what we're going to do.
Quick pass from Frazier caught by Davis, and he'll muscle his way up to the 30-yard line. He'll be just north of that, so it'll bring up a third down for Junction City. About 5 to go as we're just under 11 and a half to play here in the opening quarter.
And look for Mr. Taylor to get in action here, Jacob, on this third down.
2 receivers to the right. McGugan and Ford, the up back, and that's a high snap. It's over his head, and it will be pounced on by Taylor, but that is going to be a huge loss. They're going to spot Junction City back at the 13-yard line. Nobody was expecting that. And it went right in between Frazier and Taylor, who were the 2 backs in the backfield. Junction City with no other thing to do but to punt here.
I'm not sure, Jacob, what the center was thinking there, but that could have been very costly.
Line drive kick, and it's hopefully going to take a Junction City roll, not much of one. And the Rivercrest offense is going to have absolutely great field position on their first drive from scrimmage. So we see Junction City. First 2 plays, they kind of, a couple of run plays. They get 5 yards, find yourself in a 3rd and 5, and then a huge mistake on the wild snap over the head of both Frazier and Taylor. And the punt Not really a lot of yards on the punt either. Rivercrest offense going to start at the 43-yard line along the left hash. They'll be moving left to right. 10:34 to play in the opening quarter. Brown in the shotgun, fakes to Winda. He'll keep it on the right side. He's being pressured, nowhere to go. Dante Gibson, Fred Daniel, the two men on the scene, and that'll be a loss of about 7 yards.
Yes, it's going to be about 7-yard loss.
We'll call it 6 from the press box. 10:15 to play in the opening quarter, so a big play by the Dragon defense.
And that's what you need to see here. I mean, we come in a hole here, so to speak. You need to see the Dragon defense step it up and come through.
49-yard line near hash. Little trickeration. He's got a man wide open. No one's down there. He's caught by Winda at the 20, and he will waltz into the end zone. Touchdown. Rivercrest strikes first. 9:54 to play in the opening quarter. And I tell you what, a little trickeration there they gave to the first man in motion, Caleb Long, who tossed it back to, I believe that was Scott, and he tossed it down the field to, that was Turner, tossed it downfield to Winda, and he didn't have a guy within 15, 20 yards of him.
Dragon's secondary got suckered in, and some of them I think fell asleep there. A great call by Rivercrest when you got an aggressive defense like Junction City come out on that first play. A great call, caught them off guard, and like you said, first blood goes to Rivercrest.
And the extra point is up and in. And with a timeout on the field, 9:54 to play in the first quarter of the Class 3A state semifinals. Rivercrest strikes first. They lead Junction City 7-0.
And while we got a little break, Jacob, the fine sponsors of the Dragon Sports Network, we'd like to thank all of them for helping us out here this year, being a part of the broadcast. As I mentioned a while ago, El Dorado Chemical, Union Kennel and Farm Supply, and, of course, the Kevin Payne Foundation. Appreciate everything they have done for us. Lanix Energizing Company, STI Sims, Three Creeks Baptist Church, Red Roof Barbecue, Junction City Floors, Kim's Hair Salon, and Hog Wild Pest Control. We got a few more, and we will get all of them in. We thank every one of y'all for helping us make the Dragon Sports Network one of the best in the state.
Rivercrest leads Junction City 7-0 here with 9:54 remaining in the first quarter. This is something we talked about on the drive up. With the exception of a handful of seniors that dressed as ninth graders in 2014, when Junction City beat Hazen 38-6 for their third consecutive Class 2A crown, none of these players on the field for both sides have ever played in a game this big in this stadium. So you got to think there's some jitters here and there, and you're hoping that you can weather those jitters through the first, 8 to 10 minutes of the opening quarter, and then it just becomes a football game.
Well, Coach Carpenter always said the first 7 minutes of a game, a team's going to really be pumped up.
Again, a corner kick. Fisher fields it at about the 24-yard line along the far side. Stops. He's going to have a little bit of a hole. Gets across the 40, still on his feet, and he's wrapped up and dropped as he makes his way to the 43-yard line. So good field position for Junction City here as their offense heads back out onto the field.
And when I was going to go ahead and finish that thought, like you said, first 7 minutes of a game, you got to get the adrenaline out of the way, get settled down, play ball. And that's what it's going to come down to. None of these guys on either side are familiar with this. You count Junction City's freshmen. So whoever gets over the nerves and settles in and plays their game will be in real good shape.
Davis on the carry. He'll pick up 2 yards up to the 45-yard line. 9:42, clock running here in the first quarter. Rivercrest leads Junction City 7-0. Dragons looking to the sideline. They like to move quick. Fisher, Davis, the wide receivers to the left. Taylor moves to the left of Fisher, who's in the gun. Fisher will keep. Stays on his feet, and he'll pick up about 3 yards, be just shy of the midfield stripe. They actually mark him down at the 48-yard line. So, again, another third down for Junction City.
And you really need that Dragon offensive line to start making their presence known, Jacob. Start getting some holes open.
Taylor in the shotgun. Gives to thought about giving to Davis. He's wrapped up and dropped in the backfield. Ball's loose, but they're going to say he was down by contact. And I tell you what, it was a slow read play, and Davis appeared to get in the way of Taylor. It looked like he slowed down, like as if he was going to give him the football, and Taylor decided to keep it. Bumped into the back of Davis, and that really just Junction busted their own play there on 3rd down. So on 4th and 8 from the 46-yard line, Junction City appears to be going for it. Pistol formation. Frazier takes the snap. He looks left, throws on the run, hangs one up, double coverage. Davis, and the pass is incomplete. A couple of Dragons wanted a flag. One could have been thrown. Pass was almost intercepted.
Well, actually, he did good not intercepted if he went down
great
there.
Field position again. Once again, Rivercrest takes to the field offensively for their 2nd drive of the night, and they've already got it in Junction City territory.
A bold move by Coach Jones. They go for it on 4th down. They don't get it. You need the Dragon defense here to really step up because this does put them in a hole, especially like you said with the field position Rivercrest has gotten. We're already down 7-0.
8:22 to play, 1st quarter. Rivercrest, their 2nd offensive drive of the evening. Brown in the pistol. Ball's on the ground, and it's going to be recovered by Junction City. I believe that's Dante Gibson. The Dragons, a huge break. The defense comes up with a fumble recovery, and the offense is right back out there.
And that's what you wanted to see. You want to see a good play. Give the Dragon defensive line credit. They had it kind of shut down as they were going outside anyway, but it allowed the linebackers to flow over in the secondary to come up very quick, and now Junction City with the opportunity to get something going.
Frazier out of the pistol, gives to Taylor. He's got a lot of running room on that right side. He gets to the sideline, stops, and he is wrapped up and dropped, but not before he crosses the 40, and he's inside the 40. They're going to mark him down at the 37-yard line, so the biggest play from scrimmage so far for Junction City. Again, the Dragons moving quickly. Fisher and Davis, the wide outs to the left side. Taylor moves from behind Frazier to his left. And going to be a false start penalty on Junction City. The offense was ready to move except for the snap. Both wide receivers, a couple of the offensive linemen were on the move. Frazier was back there just waiting for the football.
So you have to believe with everybody else ready to go, maybe the center wasn't sure. And that's 2 mistakes on the center that's hurt us here. First one, the bad snap, and then this here, it puts you back. Of course, the good thing about it is for still 1st down, and with this offense, they can easily overcome 15 yards.
Dragons behind the chains, ball at the 42-yard line of Rivercrest. 1st and 15 from the far hash. In the gun, keeps it, and that is going to be Frazier. He may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a loss of about a half of a yard. Bring up 2nd down and 15. We near the 7.5-minute mark here in the opening quarter.
I believe Jacob is going to come down and getting a few passes completed to make them back off just a little bit on what they're doing defensively.
Single receiver to the left and the right. Ford the up back to the left. Pistol formation. Ball at the 43-yard line. Deep motion for Taylor. And pass is complete to Fisher. Bobbles it, and they read that one like a book. Nowhere. Actually, they're going to say he didn't even come away with it, which is a good thing because Junction City would have lost about 4, maybe 5 yards had he been able to hold on to it.
Number 4, number 11 for Rivercrest. I think you got their roster over there. Number 4, number 11 kept their assignments, stayed at home, and like you said, they had that red all the way.
Yeah, that's Winda and Stovall for the Colts. Again, 3rd down and 16. They give to Taylor. He's trying to get to the corner.
Outside.
He gets it, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds just shy of the 1st down. I do believe he's inside the 30. They mark him out at the 26.
I believe he got the 1st down. Yeah, he
did get the first down. He did get the first down.
Good spot.
So a nice run on 3rd and long for Hashima Taylor. He picks up 16 yards when he needed 15 and a half. Junction moving quickly. Davis, the recipient of the pass from Frazier, and he's wrapped up at the line of scrimmage and dropped. There'll be no gain on the play. Bring up 2nd down and 10 for Junction City from the Rivercrest 26.
Jacob, they are very aggressive. They're up on the line. They are very aggressive, especially their secondary coming up very fast. They're susceptible to a deep pass.
And Junction City will go to the air. Frazier up top's got a man incomplete. Fisher was looking for the football. He got behind the coverage. Pass was thrown out of bounds. I don't believe it would have been catchable anyway. And so, again, Junction City, they love to move quickly, but they find themselves in third down situations quickly, too.
Yes, they do. It seems like third down that's come up lately, it's been a pretty deep hole to get out of. But I'll say it again, I've said it a million times before, this offense can easily overcome it.
Dragons break the huddle, 4 men to the left side. They give to Davis on a spot pass, moves out of one tackle. He's got the first down. He's inside the 15. They mark him down at the 12, and another big play by the Junction City offense. 2 big conversions on third down, keeps the drive alive, and the Dragons are in the purple zone.
Well, we said it last week. What do playmakers do?
They make plays.
That's it. And, again, Taylor first time and Davis here.
Gives to Taylor, moves over right guard. He's inside the 10. I believe they're going to mark him down at the 9. Official stats have that as a rush over the left end. I believe that's going to be a pass. It's hard to tell whether he threw it in front of him or behind him. We'll get that figured out later. McGugan forward. They move from the left to the right. Direct snap to Frazier. He's met immediately, thinks about throwing, spins out of a couple of missed tackles. And Junction City on third down, or now it'll be third down. They'll be backed up behind the chains once again. That's kind of that a little bit of an exaggerated run pass option. Usually you don't see it spread out like that, but Junction City's been able to run it successfully so far this year. Frazier rolls out. He's got a man. Got Fisher inside the 10 down to the 6. I tell you what, Fisher ran a slant route and he just stopped right there in the middle of the field. And right as he was hit, Frazier was able to find him.
And it gives them I was going to say it's 4-down territory. It gives them a very doable 4th down, and there's no doubt the Dragons will go. It's going to be about a 4th and 4.
4th and 4 from the 6. They can get to the 2 and pick up a first down and keep the drive going. Pistol formation. Handoff goes to Taylor. He's got the first down, and he's got, I believe, a little bit more. Touchdown, Junction City. Hashima Taylor from 6 yards out, and the Dragons are an extra point from tying this ball game at 7.
Good, solid run by Hashima Taylor. Took a couple hits and kept right on going like the Energizer Bunny.
And Junction City, as they've done all year, will line up and go to 2. They've been successful on 47 two-point conversion attempts this season. That's a state record. And if they can get one here, they'll have the lead and know where going.
We got a flag.
We do have a flag, and hopefully it's on the Colts, but it's probably going to be a false start on the Dragons along the far side. Really the only thing you can call a pre-snap. And that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a false start on Junction City. So the 2-point try fails. Davis was unable to reach the end zone regardless. So the timeout on the field, 4:59 to play in the opening quarter here at the Rock. Junction City and Rivercrest. The Colts lead it 7-6. You're watching Junction City football exclusively on the Dragon Sports Network.
.459 remaining in the first quarter. Our score, Rivercrest 7, Junction City 6. And the Dragons, as Jacob mentioned a while ago, getting on the board. A good solid run by Hashima Taylor to put Junction City on the board. They failed on the 2-point conversion, but nonetheless, it was good to see the Dragons kind of, after coming off that Rivercrest turnover, get down the field, score. They converted a couple of big third downs. The first one by Taylor on a run on 3rd and 15. He picks up 16. And then Davis with a 9-yard reception to get through the other third down situation they were in. So the Dragons come out of 2 holes there to keep the drive going and put points on the board. And now you want to see the defense come out and establish themselves and get that ball back.
Jack Smith with things teed up. Junction City going to onside kick it. That's a live football. It was touched, I believe, by a Colt. And that's going to be, I believe the Dragons have it.
Let's see what, nope, they're singling Rivercrest. Oh, the official on the far side did. I think he meant.
He had to have meant Junction City. There wasn't even a white jersey.
I didn't see a white, there wasn't a white jersey anywhere. He's pointing. Okay.
That's all
He
right.
was pointing at us like it's Junction City's ball. He meant,
Yeah.
Oh boy, he had my heart. I didn't bring my heart medicine with me, Jacob. They got to get this right now. Can't make me nervous here.
7-6 is our score. The Dragons onside and get it, and they're running again. Taylor takes the snap, met in the backfield, shakes off one tackle, reverses field. Still on his feet, moves across the 45, and he will be down at the 46-yard line. That's going to be a pickup of about 7 yards, and I tell you what, he probably ran 30 to get that 7. A nice run by Hashima Taylor.
I counted 36 yards he ran. It reminded me of Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders can make a 2-yard run look exciting. Taylor made a 7-yard run look very exciting.
Single receiver to each side of the formation. Frazier in the offense to work out of the pistol. 2nd down and 3. Frazier takes the snap, flag on the play. They give to Taylor on the pass reception, and he will pick up the 1st down, but we'll wait and see what the penalty will be. As quickly as they come out, it's going to potentially be.
Yep. 5 yards on the Dragons.
I believe that was an illegal motion call, which as quickly as Junction City moves, I believe not all the players were set before the snap. So that'll back them up. It'll make it a 2nd down, and we'll call it 8.5. They fake the give to Davis. Frazier keeps it along the left side, still on his feet, powering his way up around the 44-yard line. I believe he did lose the football. And the Colts are coming out of the pile saying they've got it. And they indeed do. We'll wait for the official.
Yeah.
And there he does. There it is. He motions for Colt football. And so Junction City, they recover the onside kick and then give it right back several plays later. Frazier, I tell you what, he got bunched up there in a group of players, and really, you want both hands on the football when you get in that situation, but sometimes you can't get there quick enough. And
well, he was fighting for yards, and like you said, you get in that situation, you got to wrap that ball up. And I saw the guy when he come in, he was coming in to strip, and give them credit, they made it happen. And just like that, they got great field position at the Dragon 44. I was going to say this real quick, Jacob. You want to see the Dragon offense and defense get into a rhythm, get settled in and get going. It still seems to be herky-jerky out there, both sides of the ball.
The 3rd consecutive drive, the Colts are in Dragon field position to start the drive. And that is going to be Turner. He's off and running, makes one man miss, but he's able to get a hand in there. That's Cavante Haynes. And he brings down, that's Brown, not Turner. Brown brings him down after a big gain. That puts Rivercrest quickly inside the Junction City 15. Along the far hash, the ball spotted at the 13-yard line. That's a gain of 32 yards.
And I believe it was Brock McGugan had him by about 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and he got away from Brock, and there was nobody there when he shot through that hole, and he ends up with 32 yards.
Twins to either side of the formation. Wenda gets the carry out of the backfield. He'll pick up about 4, still on his feet. And they're saying the football's on the ground. Junction City's saying they've come away with it. And the officials are still in the pile. Yet it's a Colt player that comes up with the football. So I tell you what, it's herky-jerky is probably a good way to describe it. Back and forth on both sides. You still see those nerves having a lot to do with the action being played on the field tonight.
A very good point. I agree. And whoever can get settled down first is going to take control of this game.
You're exactly right. 3 minutes to play first quarter. 7-6 Rivercrest lead. Brown gets it, nowhere to go. Javassier Cook, the first man there, and Terrell Gibson arrives just moments later to clean up the mess. And that's a big play for Junction City. Going to put the Colts in a 3rd down situation. Ball spotted at the 8-yard line, middle of the field. I believe they do have somewhat of a pretty good kicking game. Yeah. And so if you're Junction City, definitely want to force them, try to hold them to a field goal attempt here.
Big play. One of the keys we talked about, get out of 3rd down. Like you said, force a field goal.
They fake to give to Wenda, then they'll throw it to him out of the backfield. Man misses a tackle, touchdown Rivercrest. Over pursued along the far side. Wenda caught it out of the backfield, easily had the 1st down. And again, into the end zone. And the Rivercrest lead is back to 7 with 2:18 to play here in the first quarter. The Colts lead at 13-6.
And you said it well, Jacob. Over pursued, and that allowed Wyndon just to scoot on in there for 6 points.
And the kick is up, and I believe it is good, and it is.
It is.
With the timeout on the field, 2:18 to play here in the first quarter. Class 3A state championship game. Rivercrest 14, Junction City 6. You're watching Dragon football exclusively on the Dragon Sports Network.
.218 remaining first quarter. You're watching Junction City football on the Dragon Sports Network. And I know you hear me say watching it. We're not allowed to show the game per AAA regulations. We're bringing you the audio. You will be able to view the game tomorrow on Ustream on the Dragon Sports Network channel. And a big shout out to all our sponsors. A while ago we mentioned a few. Get a few more in real quick. STI Sims, Three Creeks Baptist Church. Proud to have all of them on board. We try to remember y'all during the game, of course, especially during the state finals. It's hard to you get into the game and you're like, hey, we've got to remember these people to help make it all happen. To all of y'all, we say a big thank you. That's what Jacob and I talked about a while ago. Things kind of, the term I used, Jacob, herky-jerky. It's just not settling down. And the Dragons, on this kickoff here, they need to get this offense going.
And that's going to be fielded at the 20-yard line by Frazier. He bounces around, and he'll be corralled as he crosses the 30-yard line. They'll mark him down, I believe, at the 31. So that's where Junction City will head out for this offensive drive with 2:12 to play in the first quarter. Yeah, we've seen the football on the ground a couple of times from both squads. We've seen some misassignments. We've seen guys over-pursuing, and that comes with nerves and energy. You've got to calm yourself down. In the end, it's just another football game. Yeah, you're playing in a stadium that holds, what, 45, 50,000 people? There's not that many here. It's still a football game. 1st and 10, Frazier keeps. He spins out of 2 tackles, and he moves up across the 35 down to the 38. And a nice run by Chavassier Frazier over right guard. Would have been a gain of just about 3 yards.
The spin move right there. He gets hit and spins out of it. He picks up about another 5 or 6, Jacob. Like you said, very good run.
2nd down and 3. Quick pass to Davis out of the backfield. He's trying to get the edge. Flags on the play. He'll pick up the 1st down, but that looks like that's going to be a holding penalty from the vicinity in which that flag came from.
It came from the side, Judge, and let's see. I was hoping maybe he saw something else there that he's calling on, but I'm afraid it's going to be a hold. Let's see. Now the Dragons indicated is against the Colts. We still have not got a, here we go. Yes, face mask.
Face mask penalty on the defense. That helps out Junction City greatly. That'll be 15 yards and an automatic 1st down. That'll put the Dragons into Colt territory. Ball officially spotted at, I believe, the 41-yard line of Rivercrest.
You want to capitalize on this, and I know we say that, you hear it every week, sounds like a cliche kind of, but every time you get an opportunity like this, especially in the finals, you got to capitalize.
Junction City breaks the huddle, and again, moving quickly. I believe that's going to be a false start. Kind of a different look offensively. They bunched it up along the right side.